Righty, oh, it's rolling.
Fucking hell. Oh, can't say that.
No, it's all right. I'll trim that out.
Yes. All the words you can't say.
That's right, yeah.
Hello.
Hello. We thought we'd do. Is the last year the making of the song video was one of the least popular videos recorded ever on YouTube.
Next to our songs, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's even less success. I think we're not quite at 1,000 views yet, but that's not bad for Sunday.
For 2 days.
Exactly. So we just thought we'd run through how it came about, and we probably can't answer why.
No, the origins. Yeah, these things are kind of malleable. So we start off with vaguely an idea of what it might be in a direction, and then as it progresses and we start dicking around with it.
Yeah.
And then we get in the pub and go, what about if?
What about if? I've had a really, really good idea, and our ideas are all crap, but we are equally, we just, he comes up with a shit idea, or I come up with a shit idea, and we go, yeah, great, let's do it.
Although then we go through things where we've worked on things for such a long time, and then we both go, is that beginning really working?
Is that really what we wanted?
What we need to do is rip all that out, the weeks we spent working on, just do something completely different.
You don't want to do, but you'd had an idea of doing the Latin American.
Yeah, for a couple of years.
Quite,
yeah.
And
as a thought.
because of the pandemic, because Latin America is very, very cheerful sounding, and it didn't seem very suitable.
Generally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then I was struggling, thinking, well, if I'm gonna, I draw the short straw and have to write the lyrics. Would you write an up-tempo, summery sounding song if it's got to be a Christmas song? So then we thought, well, we could do something on the fact that it never snows anymore because of the fact that the planet's so much warmer, and of course ironically the night we release it, it's pelting down with snow, which someone said ages ago, I bet it snows the night.
It will be. It has to be the way.
However, that doesn't disprove the fact that the weather is unreliable and there is climate change, so all you deniers out there can go on that, frankly. So anyway, we decided to write a song about that. Really.
The Latin influence. I mean, the idea, and originally my idea thought way back was that because there are different types of Latin feels from bossa nova to salsa to samba, and the influences of that and different types of music, that there's quite a wide ballpark of things you could play with. So you could do lots of different sounds, different types of orchestrations, but the tune could also carry itself through. So it could go from the bossa nova type Jobin thing into more samba, into more salsa, and then instrumentally we could do more with it. We could do stuff with brass, and we could do more stuff with smaller.
Yeah, we've had instruments on we've never had before. So we had flute for the first time, live flute.
Flautus. Yeah,
it's good old Michael
Coates.
Yeah, very
doing
nice.
the wrong burgundy.
Yeah, it's very, very, very good. So anyway, what we've got here is a load of little clips. These are essentially emails that Les just used to send me working versions so I could listen to it and come up with ideas when in the downtime. So I've just compiled a load of them because they show the development of the song, really. So I don't know, if you find it interesting, then you're sadder than we. So let's start off then.
Where do we start?
We always start with piano. So we don't ever start off with jolly sounds. We think if it works on a piano,
you sketch out the sound.
It'll pretty much work. And this is the
chorus.
I think one of the, we had already done some stuff. This is what it was like very early on. I hadn't even bothered quantizing the timing.
It's the verse.
That's the verse. That is pretty much the verse, is it?
Oh, so that's stepwise up there. We didn't do that, did we?
Yeah, but then. So this is sort of similar to the chorus, but it's in D, and it didn't sound right going from D major to D minor. So eventually we made it where it ended up in A major, or A minor. This is actually not far off the harmonies bit.
Yeah.
So that's right, and then it just didn't seem right. It seemed boring to not go to a different key, but like all these things, we tend to write these things, it's great, we'll do it like this, and then we just go, how the hell do you transpose between that key and that key?
Modulate back, yeah.
Exactly, and we don't tend to, sometimes we really struggle, and this year, sometimes we've actually copped out and gone, oh, let's just do it in a simple, let's do it relative major, or relative minor, do something like that. But this year we did actually go to A, which is this is a slightly later version. It's only about a week or so later. This was so this is the end of the verse, which you'll probably recognise. There you go. There it goes to the E. Didn't quite do that with the tune.
Different tune. Yeah, it's coming together, though, isn't it?
And that wasn't actually the very. We had done quite a few sessions, and we'd come up with all sorts of stuff that sounded a bit like "Girl from Ipanema," and that was that.
You kind of a nod to Jobin.
But they just didn't do anything. It just went up and down. It was about as interesting as some of those Fleetwood Mac songs, which were amazingly successful, even though there's only one chord in them. But so this is yeah. We had to do an
placeholder intro.
Now, this intro is interesting because this one we thought, well, we almost went back to this as an idea. We said let's do something from the original, from the song.
Ah, yeah.
So we put the end of the. So this is just on piano. Just play this. This is that's not it. It's not that bit I'm talking about.
That's the intro.
Yeah, that was the intro. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the end of the chorus is the intro, yeah.
Yeah, we were going to actually use the end of the chorus as the intro, and then we went on, and we then went on and did something entirely different, which was sat around for ages.
It did. It's a placeholder.
Yeah, we kept going. Oh, we'll get back to that, and then we weren't very happy with it. So this is what it would have been. We weren't very well. It was all right, but then we realised that bit at the beginning doesn't relate to anything else in the song. It's sort of its own theme.
Yeah.
Although we did that last year, we did that. It was nothing. The intro wasn't particularly, was it? That big sort of thing with the organ and everything. It wasn't particularly.
No, it was just a mash of Christmas hits, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, but but this just didn't seem to have any relevance. So we just weren't very happy with it. But anyway, so we had and this is the. Middle section. I can't remember. This is quite early on.
Was it?
And it does sound really crap. Not crap. It's just it shows promise. Yeah, this is
to get into it.
So this is actually how it pretty much ended up.
Yeah,
it was.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Just so lax and just.
I know. Just go.
Copy paste. That'll
be all right. Proper composing, that is. And I'm going to leave that on. So I think, all right, let's
crap words.
Right. This is just a. I wrote. I think we had 6 verses in the end, and I wrote about 8. And I changed the words
because our songs are never long enough, are they? Really, we need to extend it.
So this is just one of the verses where I had. This is the verse that Alex sang eventually, with a bit about Santa searching for a house on Zoopla, and I managed to write words that just scan so awkwardly. And then there's also a verse in here that never ever made it. So I'll just play this.
Santa's viewing properties on Zoopla. His mobile home has had its day.
This is the end of this is really shit.
Ice caps may have sealed his future, but a boat's much slower than a flying sleigh.
I'm not cold water, I'll give you
all
that.
the signs of global warming and the destructive best of man. With flooding wildfires and the rising oceans, and here in Chelsea, a hosepipe band.
Yeah, I managed to make destructiveness of man rhyme with
hosepipe band. It's lyricism and its
my
best.
goodness me, yes, it's extraordinary. And there was another verse. It was about the weather being exactly the same as Bethlehem and things like that. There's something like that got a bit religious. But you know what I'm like?
Well, you and
Oh, piety. Oh, shocking. Right, this is the middle bit again. Right. I think this might be quite a long one. This bit we did. This is the bit that we like the most. The middle bit. No one else likes this apart from us.
Tower Indulgence.
And Harry doesn't play the guitar solo.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, get lots of splashes there. Bang.
Yeah. And then we kick. So this ended up as the. Oh, I've just chopped a bit out. So that's the bit that Lester redid better. This is nothing like. Oh, wait.
That's the left hand, yeah?
Yeah. But the harpsichord bit there, which we changed for the sort of Haydn bit, this is different. Yeah, that was never going to work. That was absolute crap. That one. Oh, we'll play it again. This is the guitar solo.
Yeah. Oh, a little happy
And then
ending.
this
More
is.
politicians play down close.
This is before we made it slow.
Oh, yeah.
And the
To
girls.
satisfy their greedy friends. Our planet's giving us a wake-up warning, but it's not too late to make amends. Maybe some years from now.
Yeah. So did we? Was it there? We decided that I sang it. And we sang two notes the same, and then we decided afterwards we'd make a sort of whole tone scale in there. And rather than me re-sing it, you just tuned all the notes up. So I go, and I make these odd noises like I'm being,
I think the idea was that as the verses progress and the sort of lightheartedness of Christmas not being like it is, and then slightly more sinister that the global changes are making Christmas not be warm.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that the verses didn't always have exactly the same harmony, so we went for that straight D minor, then do that augmented.
Oh yeah, there with the
Of course,
B,
the
with,
first
the, with the
chords,
B flat on the top,
which
yeah.
meant that the tune on the first two notes of the verse had to change and go up, which made it really horrible to have to do it.
That's right. It was awful for them. I mean, we got people in who are essentially amateur singers or not singers, probably more the latter. And then we give them. Well, they know, but but people are. They're not doing it regularly, and then we give them evil tunes to sing.
Impossible length of tunes.
I mean,
and really difficult.
I
notes.
was struggling to sing the guide vocal, and Lester and I wrote the bloody tune, and we should know it. So
What's that? Sort of.
Yeah, we had that sort of a. Yeah, it was always a bit.
Yeah. Happy tunes, eh?
Right, so the middle bit. This is
A little
isn't
bit
far,
sorted.
this isn't far off where we ended up, I think.
Christmas is here and the calendar says that it's winter, but where's the snow?
A lot of this made it onto the final track. But obviously this is all still samples. This is all sample drums, sample bass. There's no live instruments on that at all. Oh, this is the naughty ending.
Naughty ending. What was that?
Well, we'd written the tunes of the chorus and we'd written all that, and we'd worked out what we were going to do, and then we got to the ending, and you think we put a placeholder in for the beginning? You should hear the placeholder for the ending.
Let's hear the ending.
This is like, we normally do these endings which have these, French horns and tubas and God knows what else, kitchen sink, really dramatic, massive endings. This is how they start out.
Don't be bothered.
No, listen.
Does it always snow?
Oh yeah.
Yeah! next ending now. This is
The next ending.
This is the one where
Must
we've improved it a bit. But it's a bit.
will of course be complaining. Oh, why does it always snow?
Just fell over.
It's just so badly played as well. No. Yeah, we just did that for it, but we had such a you know, it was just like, oh, this is the next intro bit.
Change the intro again.
Yeah, so this is I think this is right, now this is the right intro, but I think this still is longer. I think we actually put yeah, this is the one we did.
Yeah, that link.
There is a
Yeah,
reason
and then,
you're
quite late on,
talking
we binned those bars. I just said, oh, we was going to like, just put the vocals straight in.
It's already
there.
2 weeks long anyway.
Yeah,
the whole song.
there were people who are already going off shopping during the intro, you know, and we thought we'd lose their attention even more. And I think this is probably the final.
A little bit sorted.
This is the bit where this has got all. Now this is before we get all the live instruments in. This is how good the sample libraries are. They're
fakes.
very, very
The
good.
fakes.
They're pretty good samples.
Except for that
I
one.
don't know.
Bar. You get the full.
Left a double bass on this one, which we took off eventually.
First of all,
There's a slightly accordion feel of that. It's the guitar so straight. Oh, it has got my guitar on it, isn't it? Heavy metal stroking.
well. Oh,
I don't know what that was. I think that might be it. As far
that
as
was it at the final stage then, yeah. The evolution made.
And then we had to, yeah.
And it was all done in 4 days.
It's hardly any work at all. And we had those brilliant musicians we had on there. And obviously we have all our regulars. So we have some regulars. Will I suppose we talk about now. You've got Tim and Dylan,
Trumpets.
and H, and and Helen's on it, and Beth's on it as well. And we got a lot of our regular singers. But we also had Vicky and James, the
Oboe, tuba.
They were regulars. And we had Nick, Esme, and
Nick,
Alfie Beston.
Esme and Alfie Beston's on saxes.
That was the first time Esme had played on it, so that's nice. Nice to get new blood. She's now booked. You're playing again.
Absolutely, Esme. Bass sax from Miguel, who came in with his amazing instrument for that middle section.
That's right. Lots of people flew the stuff in from elsewhere. So yeah, Miguel flew it from me. They were all recorded. So and Chris Trey's doing the trombone part.
Epic.
Bloody marvellous, you know. He's quite an A-lister for that. For even for us, that's marvellous stuff. And then we had Paul Price.
Paul Price on the.
Paul used to live in the village about 10 years ago, and he came over in the summer to visit in-laws. And we met for a pint, and he just said he's always followed the singles. And he said, "Guys, if you want me to do some guitar," we said, "Well, it's Latin America." He said, "I can do that." He said, and he did. And he went and he recorded it in Arkansas.
Thanks,
Paul. Thanks, Paul. And it was brilliant, lovely. And so you see him on the video. He's on verse 1. He appears on the video first one. He actually appears elsewhere in it, but we didn't put him in there because he's too uppy.
Well, guest soloist from Pete Cooper on the trumpet. Thanks for that.
He didn't want to be. He wanted to be the mystery trumpet player. We had to call him the mystery trumpet player all up until release day. And then, so it's him, and then it was obviously Michael.
Michael Coates on the flute. Yeah.
And then we had Barry on playing
Barry
bass
electric
guitar.
bass.
Yeah,
That was brilliant, Barry.
Yeah, thanks very much indeed, that mate. It's brilliant, you know.
Chino on congas and Latin percussion.
Yeah, Chino came and played on. What was the one? Wasn't the Folk of Chelsfield? He played.
No, he did Back in the Pub again.
Back in the Pub. He did. Yeah, that's right. No, wasn't that? He did
congas.
Played some congas and that. But we gave him. He had the
Congas, bongos, guiro, and mixed bells.
Go
all that.
bells.
Just give it that proper Latin.
That was
feel.
really good. So when we were in Abbey Road and we were listening to the percussion track, when we had the drums, got to mention Gary.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, he turned up at the launch with a net. That was lovely to see him. And he it's an absolute. I mean, quite honestly, he does it pretty much. You could if there'd been a power cut in the studio after the first take, we could have used take one. Yeah, pretty brilliant.
Yeah, that's nailed.
Except for the mere fact we booked a session, so we decided we'd make it.
Got to do at least two takes.
Make the bastard sweat a bit. So we did. But you had that going, and you had Chino as well. And honestly, it just
grooves
absolutely clattering.
Love it
with great gusto. No, it's great. Who have we forgotten to mention? Or probably loads. We probably offended.
Well, the guest.
We had my mate Rosie from the violins. I looked at the violin part and I thought, well, I could play the violin part, and then I thought, yeah, but I'm a shite violinist. I can sort of get round a viola on a reasonable day, but the violin E string, all too screechy. So and I was looking and thinking, it's quite a handful. Of course, Rosie just comes in and nails it, and I'm going, well, maybe it isn't hard. Maybe I am genuinely a bit shit at the violin. So, and then and Henrietta had a big role. She actually did the classical bass as well.
As well as doing double bass and a bit of BBC.
So she did the whole lot. Yeah, the whole. And then we had the singers. So we've had.
Many.
All the usual successes. We didn't have Robin this year because she's finding herself in the Far East. Have you ever found yourself in the Far East? Have you ever woken up in a bath full of ice with no internal organs in the Far East? Yes, that's what Robin's doing. I hope you're all right. No, Robin sang last year and the year before. She's got a lovely voice.
Yeah,
but she's travelling, so she's not able to come in. So we had to go to the second level. No, we didn't. We got in. Oh, and we got. Sophia came in.
Sophia singing lead,
Alex and Leah's daughter Sophia. She did the one where she's standing in the snow. Yeah. And that's absolutely gorgeous vocal.
And
really
Thea
lovely,
singing on it as well. On the choruses.
Yeah, that's right. And then and we had and that bit where the there's all the party noises. We got David, Nikki, Ruben, and Olivia Padilla to come in and do, and they did it, and it's really, I don't know, anybody who can speak Spanish, if you listen out for it, like Nikki claimed she was saying all sorts of domestic things, but in an enthusiastic Spanish voice. So it sounded like it was a party, but
genius.
It was things like, have you done the ironing and things like that in Spanish. And as we're such poor linguists, she might have said that. She might have said something really rude. I'm hoping somewhere on Spotify it'll come up and say, "Do you realise you've got explicit lyrics in this?" No, we haven't got.
It's now X-rated.
Exactly. I've got an idea about it.
Yeah, it's great that the Padillas here doing all the.
That was lovely. Yeah, it was
South
really
American
good.
chants and shouts.
And then we had, and we really went to town. We also
Poppy on the piano.
Yeah, Poppy did the piano in the little quiet bit. And and Mina, we gave Mina proper vocals.
Mina's solo as well.
She did the silly thing last year where she exploded while her brother was playing the guitar solo. The synth battle. And then, but this year we had we said we wanted that one line at the beginning of verse 5, which is the while politicians played our global warning. We thought it'd be nice to have a really young voice on it, and she has the most fabulous diction. It's like it's such a really so crystal clear, and so we put her on that, and then you would have heard the end of the choruses, and the idea was it would go why, and then does it always snow, and have a big crowd yelling it, but then the ending, the bom 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 dun 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 dun, and we were saying, should we make that quiet, just that bit of it quiet, and you said. We were just sat in the studio, and he just did the sort of, I'll turn it into the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. So he did it with all the double bass and the Celeste and the pluck strings and all that stuff. and it sounded so Christmassy. And I just said, you
Yeah.
can't really have
Have a
a
mob
whole
screaming on
crowd
that.
yelling it, and then this tiny thing, and then bang. So, and then we want a single voice, maybe a child. And I said, Mina's only doing one line, let's get her to do that. And it was such a good decision, because she sounds absolutely terrific on it. It's really good. And it was really great.
It's been brilliant.
Oh, we had James Kirby on.
James
on
Kirby,
trumpet as
yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah, on trumpets 3/4, yeah.
And I'm just trying to think if we've got else we've got on who. Do we? Oh, well, Roy and Mary on.
Roy Mary French horns.
And they're good, and they're about the only musicians we ever record together. Because they're husband and wife, and they practice. They are fiendish practicers. They are the real thing,
Yeah.
you know. And they come in, and together they make the most amazing sound. And you get two horns together, and they just phase slightly. And when you've got them really going for it, it's
Roaring,
an amazing sound. And we recorded in the church, which is nice of Philippa. We didn't do as much recording as there was that big sort of quasi-classical section last year, which benefited from having the church. So we just put did the classical bit in the church, and we did the French horns. And the oboe, because Vicky played oboe that appears elsewhere in the song.
Nice from that acoustic.
But we did record a lot in the church last time, but this year it wasn't a suitable acoustic. So most of the big band stuff was recorded here, wasn't it? In here, this room.
Yeah. Although saxes were recorded, Nick did his own, and Travis did his own. So which is trumpets did.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Nick for actually providing his video, the latest of anybody could possibly. I got his video clips at about 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. This Saturday just gone. He had a very good excuse, but I was just thinking, I could do with the video coming through, but of course it arrives and they're all wearing silly Christmas hats, and I was thinking, nailed it. That's exactly. Well, get the joke, you know. No, but it's lovely. It's smashing to have. It's lovely to have families playing. Like that. It's
absolutely
really nice, you know. And then we had our lovely day at one of the most enjoyable days at Abbey Road, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was the fact that he'd done 2 before, and when we were sitting in reception, and Lee, our mate Lee, came down. And really, thanks Lee for that. It's always good to have your ears on this sort of thing. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
We were all sitting outside in the reception, just gossiping away, and then Lewis comes out of there and he opens the door out of the studio into the place to welcome us, and he takes one look at us and shuts the door and goes back inside again. But he said, he's very polite. He's probably lying, but he said, it's not Christmas until I do this song. And it is funny, because what we'd happens is, I'm not giving any away trade secrets, our vocals are not the best. They are repaired to buggery. And that's it. And of course, so we get all this instrument stuff, and it sounds absolutely amazing. And then we have to do the first vocals, and it's a little bit of a shock, admittedly, when you get something like, oh my God, you know. And then this year we decided, we shuffled the vocals around a bit to sort of just mix it up a bit, to get them in a different order and not always put, you know, whoever. You know, so we put. Although we've done this 3 times, we put ourselves. So my vocal is the first, but I think it's the first time I've ever done. It's ever been just me on my own. I think you and I have sung together previously. Maybe
Possibly.
we've done. I don't know. But it was suddenly realising that the vocal that Lewis was going to wince at was going to be
your own.
my vocal. And
Followed by me.
And I was thinking, oh, that's rather backfired. I'd rather he insulted everyone else, but he did. He did very well with it all, and he has a brilliant way of looking around and raising his eyebrows in a loaded way that just says so much without saying anything.
It was a good day.
It was a lovely day. No, and he got such a great sound with it all,
Didn't he?
And it's really, really lovely. I mean, I really think the rhythm track is just absolutely banging on that, you know. And then of course we've got all our mates to come in and sing. In the church hall and not church hall, village hall.
Village hall, yeah.
And thanks to Peter and Catherine for letting us have the village
Again.
hall. That's lovely. Thanks, Christine. That was very
There's so many people involved, aren't there? It's just
it was, yeah. And then we had obviously Sam at the pub for the 5 bells.
Without the pub, it wouldn't happen.
Without the pub, we'd have got this recorded a lot bloody quicker.
And there would be no nonsense in it. It'd all be the most boring 8-bar sequence.
It would, yes, it would. It would be very, very, very
Kumbaya
earnest.
all the way through.
It'd be very earnest and probably very holy. So, no, it was good. And then we did the big singing thing that was done a week and a half ago, and it was a week before we did the. Because I didn't think I'd hit the video by Sunday, but I took 4 days off last week to get it done. Because I suddenly realised we started this a little bit late, this song, because I was last year I was still coming out of my treatment in June, and we didn't have a village fair, so we just got on the Christmas song pretty early. So we were way ahead of the curve last year, and this year we had a village fair, which I get very involved with as well, and so therefore I wasn't in a position to do anything in July. So we probably started early August. So that's almost a month, 6 weeks after we started it last year. So when it came down to the video, we were pushing it a bit, the timing. But then we sort of work out we're not going to vie for a Christmas single. We're not going for number one. You know, this is a song that, you know, if it comes under 6 minutes, we've done well. You know, it's a commercial absolute shit heap, to be quite honest.
It's an indulgence, mate.
It is, and I love the bit in the middle. But I've got to say that when we did this, we just said, I don't know why, because there is no relevance of going from the Fat Swallow bit into a bit of Cod J.S. Bach, and then going to sort of it's more Fat Swallow, isn't it? But with a band, and then going into sort of fake Haydn. And the only reason we did it, we said, hey, we said we could wear grey wigs. And that was the reason we did it. And we didn't wear grey wigs. It was complete. I don't need a grey wig. I've got grey hair. And
I think my original thought on that was that when you start the salsa bit in the piano, it's like a duel, and you're trying to outdo each other with riffs. And then when that's over and the trumpet solo have been through, it's like, well, I can do this, strike piano. Then you go, well, I can do the Bach.
Yeah, that's what we did.
And then Fats comes back with a band trying to up the fact that, and then the harpsichord comes back with his orchestra.
Yeah,
you know?
But we didn't bother the harpsichord, because I just didn't get this.
You thought, well.
Well, no, I wrote.
We're going classical.
Yeah, so because I was sitting there and I was thinking, what are we doing that last minute? I was sitting at an air show, at Duxford, waiting for the flying display to start, and I had my iPad with me, and I had Sibelius, and I suddenly thought of a riff. I thought of a tune. I thought, I bet someone's written that. Mozart or Haydn's written that tune. It's not good enough to be Mozart or Haydn, but I felt it had been written by, you know, Salieri or someone, you know. And I thought someone had written it, and I can't spot. So if anyone can spot where I nicked that from, I would really love to know. I mean, it's out of bloody copyright, so I'm not really worried legally. But I mean, it would be nice to know where I inadvertently pinched that from. But I did somehow.
But it turned out nice.
It did. It turned out lovely. And we're up to about 700. No, it must be nearly 800 views by now. I don't know. You can check for us. And I am. I sent an email to BBC Radio Kent, to Phil Harrison, who is the producer of the Saturday morning show, and he went, I said, oh, we've done this, and I said, I'm available for, you know, interviews or public executions, whatever you like. And he just sent me back an email and went, Dave! Great, yeah, you can come on. So I'm either going to be interviewed this coming Saturday on the Pat Marsh show on BBC Radio Kent, which will be about 10 to 9 in the morning. Great. That's me not going out to the pub Friday night. Or,
come.
Oh yeah, that's true. Forget it. I can do it drunk. And then, or it could be on he's got his own show, and it'll be on Christmas Eve. So you can see it's not gonna boost sales, not on Christmas Eve. But
what a time to be on though.
It's nice to be, and they BBC Radio Kent are what they're like. I think a lot of these BBC local stations don't get enough credit because they are brilliant at doing, because they do have they almost go under the radar, and they can do absolutely mad crap, and they promote lots of new music and stuff like that. They're really good, you know, great stations, and they sort of, people just sort of rather overlook them really. But Kent's a really great station, and they do lovely things, and they have got a really good sense of humour, and they get the running joke of it, and they always try and play our song. But of course, there's no station will ever play a song that, well, this is 5.5 minutes, which is about 2.5 minutes longer than every pop song.
That's Nutscape Records for you now.
Nutscape Records. We never. I did see there was a thing on Radio 3. There was an advert for John Rutter. He was being interviewed by Tom Service on Radio 3 about, you know, he's written so many carols, and he is a right tunesmith and a lovely orchestrator, and very nice bloke. I've seen him when he's interviewed, and there's a quote, and it just said, the best, if you're writing a song, the best thing to do is keep it simple and keep it short. And I thought, well, bollocks to you, Rutter.
Hey, what's he know about it?
What's
Who's
he
ever heard of him anyway?
Exactly. How many's he sold?
How many tunes? Oh yeah.
So that's it.
Yes.
So sorry, John. No, we do not do that. So anyway, I might do a little making of the video thing because that was quite a job. So I'll do that at some point, maybe next week when I've got another week's leave. But anyway, Lester and I probably won't see you digitally until next year. So have a lovely Christmas, everybody, and thanks to everybody who performed on it and everyone who helped out, all the people we've forgotten to mention. But we love you all. Thank you so much. It's great fun to do it, and we are.
Thanks for supporting us, and
yeah, keep sharing the video. We don't do Spotify. So I think genuinely, I looked at it on it. We done. I think a day after it had released, someone had streamed it on Spotify 4 times.
Win.
Yeah, exactly. Which is actually more than the gross domestic product of some countries, but it's still not very much. But if you like to share the video, so we like to see the video count go up because it's nice to see people enjoying it
and get down the 5 Bells pub in Chelsfield.
Yes, come and support our local pub because without our local pub, we can't do any of this. So, but thanks to everybody, and we will see you
in the new year.
Next year.
Merry Christmas.
Have a great one. Cheers.